Okay, so display kind of goes off and on, and it's related to these connectors, like right up here. Here's the 5-volt coming to the display, and this is an IDC connector. I gotta replace that, and then this one down here. These IDCs they use are good for manufacturing, but they're in the long term they don't last. There's also some general illumination issues. Look at this thing; it's just burnt. Look at the wire here is actually melted. Look at that goo. So we're gonna be doing some crimping. I'm gonna pull this power supply and check out the male header pins. But right now, I am putting crimped on trifurcons for the 5-volt power going to the score display. And then I'll also put a crimped on down here. Got the power supply out. Here's that general illumination male connector. I moved it. It was pretty burned up. Look at that. Pretty shot. So we'll put new pins in there, and we'll have to stitch some of the pins together. You can see there's 4 input pins and 4 output pins, and the center pin is a key. It's pretty easy work, actually, especially compared to the Williams. Also notice the transformer connector here is pretty burned up. This is the input connector from the transformer to the power supply. This brings the raw voltages in to the board right at this connector right here, and it's not uncommon for this to burn up. So kind of a neat trick is when you crimp the new females on, you can see this housing is all burned up. These housings are kind of hard to come by, so what you can do is move this row of wires up one, and then all you got to do on this board is just make sure the pins are tied together, solder them, jump them around the back, and that way you don't have to buy a new housing if you don't happen to have one of these housings handy. Okay, so new connectors. We got the score display working, we have the general illumination working there and on the playfield, but you'll notice there's no CPU controlled lights. Nothing. So that's gonna be the next issue. So we're back in the back box on the CPU control lights. I believe it's this fuse right here. Let me get this connector out of the way. That fuse right there, which looks blown to me, which probably means that this bridge rectifier right here is shorted. Got the blown fuse removed. I've got my handy circuit breaker fuse thing. Now I got the game on. If I put this in here and it immediately blows the lid on the circuit breaker, I know the bridge is shorted. If not, yep, look at that. It blew it immediately. So yeah, the bridge is shorted. Here, I'll do it one more time just for giggles, because I didn't get a good view on it. But watch the little white tab just come on out. See that? Come out. That means that the bridge is shorted. So we got to replace the bridge rectifier too for the lamp matrix. Alright, so I have my new bridge installed right here. I'm just letting it hang for the time being. And I'm going to take my fuse clip bridge rectifier and put it in there. Set it in there so that it's in place. Notice it doesn't blow. And look at the playfield now. Now we got playfield lights dancing. So yeah, we had a shorted bridge rectifier, and that was the problem, and now that's fixed. So that was this guy here that had shorted. It's a pretty cool game. It's got a lot of knickknacks and doodads. This big giant dot matrix display. It's pretty amazing, actually. You know.